Hello everyone and welcome to QK Tech News. Today we have some interesting things for you. Japan is going to deploy an autonomous taxi service for some of its citizens. Robot Taxi Inc. and Japanese officials from its cabinet office and the Kanagawa prefecture announced that they will be using a fleet of self-driving taxis to taxi the elderly in the prefecture to places like the grocery store. They will begin using this service in 2016 and are currently testing it right now. In the beginning, there will be humans seated in the driver's seat to make sure that everything goes smoothly to avoid any errors or collisions or accidents. There have been experiments conducted before using self-driving cars, but mainly they were used on highways, and this will be the first time that they will use self-driving cars on local roads. But not only that, they will taxi humans in the self-driving cars. It's probably the first real test in the world where self-driving cars will transport people, people who aren't working for the company or testing the cars. Robot Taxi is a joint venture between DNA Co., which makes video games, and ZMP Inc., which develops automated driving technologies. Now, we know that self-driving cars aren't new. Google and Tesla and all these other companies are working to create a fully functional self-driving car. But the interesting thing is, how does this affect the future? How does this affect us? Recently, the consulting firm McKinsey & Co. released a research paper that gave interesting predictions for the future of mankind and safety through autonomous cars. And they have very interesting data. They report that for every person killed in a motor vehicle accident, 8 are hospitalized and 100 are treated for injuries. They state that autonomous cars could reduce accidents up to 90%. That would end up saving thousands and thousands of lives. Autonomous cars also would relieve the economy, or particularly the US economy if you look at it, of crash-related expenses. According to the report in 2012, the annual cost of roadway crashes to the US economy was $212 billion. That's a lot of money. Autonomous cars could also save people 50 minutes a day, and when you're counting the entire world, it could save around 1 billion hours. Not to mention, parking will become simpler and easier, and if companies like Google and Robot Taxi come out with their autonomous rentable taxi services, you wouldn't technically need to own a car, and it would just come pick you up and drop you off where you wanted to. The best part about this is it would reduce traffic congestion for places like New York or California where you have really, really bad traffic. In other news, surgeons in London may have figured out how to cure age-related macular degeneration or blindness in the elderly. The London project to cure blindness is developing a procedure which involves seeding a tiny patch with specialized eye cells and implanting it in the back of the retina. The operation forms the retinal pigment epithelium, a layer of cells that support the photoreceptors in the macula, which allows you to see. Reportedly, there has been one person who has already had the procedure performed, and now they're just waiting to see how much of their eyesight recovers and how long it would. Currently, there are 10 patients that are going to have this procedure performed. They have AMD, the age-related macular degeneration, and they will undergo the procedure in the near future. Now, this is very interesting experimentation and research being done here because, okay, let's face it, everybody gets old, and if you happen to get AMD, then this is good news for you. But it's also good news for the rest of us that might get blind through other situations. So this research might lead to discoveries in how to cure blindness overall, which is great for everyone. Okay, now we get to the most interesting thing that I've heard of. I mean, I hear about self-driving cars and space programs and going to Mars and working with stem cell research, but this is the first time I've heard of this. So if you know the Minority Report, you'll understand this. If you don't, let me explain it to you. In the Minority Report, we have Tom Cruise, who works as a sort of a police officer who hunts down criminals, and they use this technology which helps them figure out when and where a crime will take place in the future and who the criminal will be. And now the company Hitachi is developing a new technology that can find where and when a crime will take place. The visualization predictive crime analytics processes large amounts of data using maps, social media conversations, weather reports, and many other ways, which sounds a little bit diabolical. But let's move on to find patterns about when and where a crime will take place. The system points out where potential crimes will take place inside of a 200 square meter area. It then highlights in shades of red the level of crime that will take place and also displays nearby information through icons such as guns, mobile phones, and security cameras. Now, we all know what happened in Minority Report. I mean, if you watched it, one person manipulated the system to cover up a crime they had committed and pinned it on Tom Cruise's character. So this poses questions about how accurate the system will be and what happens if it miscalculates and who runs the system, who manages the system, and how we can stop them from doing what happened in the movie. Well, Hitachi is planning a trial for the system and are confident that it will show success. They say that all trial results will be public, and the company says the system may even reduce the amount of biased public profiling, resulting in far fewer innocent people being blamed for a crime they did not commit. But we'll have to wait and see how this will go after the trial and see if somebody tried to manipulate the system and if they can. Some of the security features should be top grade because we know how it went down in the movie. That's the bad thing about technology, because some technology, it can be good for people, but it can also be bad for people. It's what you call a two-edged sword. Thank you guys for watching. This has been QK Tech News. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe, and look forward to more interesting things from QK Tech. Thank you guys.